This is Tim Bryce with my column titled, Rules for Deplorables, a New Book. I recently attended a political meeting where I met the speaker for the evening, Kathy Chamberlain, who authored an interesting new book titled Rules for Deplorables, a Primer for Fighting Radical Socialism. This is essentially a refutation of Saul Alinsky's book, Rules for Radicals, a practical primer for realistical radicals. Alinsky, of course, is the well-known socialist community organizer who greatly affected the political schemes of President Obama and Secretary Hillary Clinton. Alinsky's 13 tried and true rules for creating meaningful social change are well known among liberals and have long been an inherent part of the Democrats' playbook. Remarkably, most Republicans are only vaguely familiar with Alinsky's name, and most haven't a clue about his political tactics. Enter Ms. Chamberlain, who has examined these tactics and produced a handy guide to walk Republicans through them and contest them. As such, this is intended to be an educational read. Not only do you learn Alinsky's tactics, but also how to resist them. Interestingly, Kathy decided to copy the format and layout of Alinsky's book, even the title and cover graphic, which is done to indicate that this is a refutation of Alinsky. Frankly, I got a chuckle out of it as she used red mega hats on the cover. Her table of contents are ultimately based on Alinsky's 13 tactics, to wit, in Chapter 1, Illusion of Power, she begins with Alinsky's tactic number 1. Power is not only what you have, but what the enemy thinks you have. Chapter 2, Viva la Revolution, talks about tactic number 2. Never go outside the experience of your people. Chapter 3, Collusion Delusion, talks about tactic number 3. Whenever possible, go outside the experience of the enemy. Chapter 4, White Men Can't Judge. Tactic number 4, make the enemy live up to their own book of rules. Chapter 5, Sticks and Stones. Tactic number 5 is ridicule is man's most potent weapon. Chapter 6, Stupid is as stupid does. Tactic 6 is a good tactic is one your people enjoy. Tactic 7 is impeach 45. Tactic number 7, a tactic that drags on too long becomes a drag. Chapter 8, Trick or Treat. Tactic 8 is keep the pressure on. Chapter 9 is unmask the boogeyman. Tactic 9, the threat is usually more terrifying than the thing itself. Chapter 10 is resistance. Tactic 10, the major premise for tactics is the development of operations that will maintain a constant pressure on the opposition. Chapter 11 is mobs versus jobs. And that's tactic number 11. If you push a negative hard and deep enough, it will break through into its counterside. Chapter 12 is build that wall. Tactic number 12, the price of a successful attack is a constructive alternative. And Chapter 13, divided they fall. Tactic 13 is pick the target, freeze it, personalize it, and polarize it. And finally, Chapter 14 wraps everything up with United We Stand. Chamberlain's dissertation is incredibly important as we enter the 2020 elections. Most Republicans take a John Wayne approach to politics, meaning they believe in hard work and fair play. Just remember, the Duke never shot anyone in the back. Unfortunately, the far left does not think this way and would stab their opponents in the back under the rationale, all is fair in love and war. Alinsky's 13 tactics show them how to do it, which is why Republicans have to be forewarned. This is an important read for Republicans, particularly as we approach the election and possible impeachment. If you are not familiar with Alinsky or his 13 tactics, buy the book. It is 308 pages and available from Amazon. Paperback is $14.95 and a Kindle ebook is $5.49. Kathy is also available to speak on the 13 tactics, which is how I met her. Contact her through her website at rulesfordeplorablesbook.com. Again, that's rulesfordeplorablesbook.com. Friends, keep the faith. This is Tim Bryce in Palm Harbor, Florida. Follow me on the internet at timbryce.com.